Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heartscape with Cari K, where we shine the spotlight on local heroes and entrepreneurs who are striving to make a positive impact in their community. Today, I am speaking with Brother Nance and Marcus Mohattan, co-owners of Legendary Lifestyle Cafe, a new Black-owned business that recently opened on July 24th in Fells Point in Baltimore. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today.
How you doing? First, I got to correct Fells Point to the Oliver community. So
Oh,
we're in the Oliver community. Fells Point's at the bottom. We're in the Oliver community, the historic Oliver community, might I add. So we're in the Oliver community on Broadway in Preston,
okay.
1301 North Broadway. So thanks for having us.
Thank you. So, talk to us about your business and what was the inspiration behind this plant-based cafe?
Um, me and Juan Nance, we had an interaction. I don't know if I remember, it was last summer or 2 summers ago.
Like last summer.
Last summer, we
2 summers ago.
was in a incubator that we was in Fells Point, and I was making running a live smoothie stand, and he was doing healthy people juices, and we always stayed in contact with each other, and then we had the opportunity to create our own establishment, and it was a no-brainer. Like, we always wanted to do something in our community. We wanted to be pioneers of health and wellness in community. We wanted to give people like the real when it comes to eating, and you can eat like plant-based food. You don't always got to eat, let's say, the steaks and the chicken and all that stuff. And we kind of just collabed, and we stuck together, and we came to this point where we created Legendary Lifestyle Cafe. And we hit the ground running. It was process was well worth it. It was frustrating though, because we had this great opportunity, but we was being held because of COVID and obtaining the correct permit. So
Okay.
we got a little antsy. We wanted to get ready. We wanted to get right to it, but it was well worth the wait. And we're now here to service our community, and I say the Baltimore City. I don't just use the Olive community, but we're in the Olive community, so that's why we always acknowledge Olive community. But we're here to serve Baltimore City.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback off what he was saying, like, the reason why we came together because we wanted to show what community looks like. We were two black businesses in the same arena, and it made sense to come together. A lot of times in black business, people try to compete. When we can't compete with one another, we need to be building with one another. So that was the main purpose on me joining with because his company was called Legendary Juice. My company was called Healthy People Juice. So we just, like he said, stayed in contact. And God bless us with a beautiful space for us to do the things that we want to do, which is our three pillars, which is community, culture, and wellness. So we stand by those three pillars.
Okay. So, I know you guys mentioned the pandemic and a lot of things like kind of set you guys back from opening. But in your opinions, what was or still is the most challenging thing about opening this plant-based business?
Well, one of the most challenging things is just changing people's eating habits. You know what I mean, and just changing it's a mindset thing. So just making sure that one thing that we try to pride ourselves is making sure that we have high integrity in our products, and to make sure that we're giving your taste buds a flavor dance. A lot of times people think that vegan or plant-based food has no flavor. You know what I mean? But it depends on who's cooking the food. If you're really using plants and herbs, if you're using cooking plant-based the correct way, you're using a lot of herbs and spices. So you should be able to season your food up well. So I don't know if Marcus want to answer that question. Challenges.
Like I'm probably the biggest challenge for them, because they're more experienced into the plant-based eating.
Okay.
And by me being an athlete, it was a different narrative in which I was taught and how to eat. You had to have your pasta, your steaks, your
Right.
chicken, your proteins and stuff like that to fuel yourself to for the games and vigorous practices. So it's changing the narrative for me and how I look upon how I eat. Like, we have a current tuna melt. We have a lobster roll that is fantastic. That 5 years ago, I would have never tried it. I'm like, man, I'm not eating that. I don't know what that is. But because they opened my eyes to a different way of eating and changed my mindset, that I'm open to it. And it was great for me because, I have two kids, and I still like to run around and I work out, and I want to still be able to be active in their lives and not just be sitting around like while they having fun playing and stuff and not being able to help. So that was all like a positive thing for me, and which they introduced me to. So I'm still learning from the brother. I appreciate him so much because he's teaching me along the way, as far as
Mhm.
how to juice and things like that. So it is a great learning experience for me, and we get the opportunity to teach the youth as well.
Absolutely. That's to the word right out of my mouth. So we don't really have any major challenges, just the challenges of, you know how they say you see something before it happens. So it's like just having the patience and the mental fortitude to just
Right.
stay the course. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, me and Mo we happen to share the same birthday. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. Like we share the same birthday. So it's like working with my twin brother. You know what I mean? So it's like we both have the desire to do great things and we both are visionaries. So as visionaries, sometimes you have to cast the big vision, but you got to do the little steps to get there. So just the biggest challenge is just trusting the process. Because we do have a third business partner. Her name is Kirsten Allen from Brazen Consultants. So we do have a third business partner that makes this machine work.
Okay. So, and Marcus, you mentioned being an athlete, it was hard for you to make this change. So, do you guys think it's hard being Black and vegan just simply because we're so used to, a lot of us are used to like cookouts and family events with like all these meat filled dishes. So do you think that has an effect on people or an
Yeah,
impact on people?
100%. Because you become so accustomed to what your parents been cooking for you to eat for so
Hmm.
long that's what's indoctrinated in our that's what's embedded in our mind. Like I gotta have a chicken box, I gotta eat hot dogs and hamburgers, I gotta eat this, I gotta eat that, and not knowing that it's a better way to eat. And when you figure that out, and when you find that out, like you'll start gaining knowledge about it, you'll start reading about certain things, and you'll start understanding what each thing is good for and why you should take it. um Being young, coming from Baltimore City and being an athlete, like I said, we grew up on certain things. Like
Hmm.
even as a youngster, like a young kid, like I ain't know nothing about no Caesar salad at that time. I ain't know nothing about like no plant based food,
Right.
because I go in the house, my grandmother frying chicken, she frying
Hmm.
fish, like they cooking bacon, like you know what I'm saying. Like we grew up on that.
Right.
So like I said, like as I got older, and then like you go further with sports, they teach you how to eat properly for an athlete. And honestly, now that I'm into this lifestyle, it's another difference,
Okay.
because you're eating clean, you're eating cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
I just found this out, like it takes years for meat to digest in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They tell you like you gotta have a steak because you gotta feel for the game tomorrow. It's gonna be a tough game, so you gotta have energy. Like you know what I'm saying? Like even when you eat that steak, it takes so long for it to digest. And if you ever notice when people eat that type of food, they automatically get tired and lazy and
Slows
sleep.
them down. Hmm.
That's not what food is supposed to do. Food is supposed to fuel you. It's
Right.
supposed to energize you, not make you lazy, sluggish. So I know, like like I said, with Juan teaching me, learning these things. Yeah, right, 100%. So
It'd be the
learn
same.
those things.
It'd be the same food that we eat. That be the same food that put us in the grave. To be the same food we have at the repast. You know what I'm saying? Like so, at some point we have to break that. You know what I mean? And so, small baby steps. That's why we try to do familiar things. Lobster roll.
Hmm.
Made out of hearts of palm. You know what I'm saying? Like and making it really taste flavorful. Same thing with the carrot tuna, making it a carrot tuna. You know what I mean? Where it's a familiar taste. So one thing about juicing and introducing people to new things, you still gotta have familiarity for people. You know what I mean? We are creatures of habit, and we also creatures of familiarity. So when you have familiar taste, like I know a lot of my customers when I first started Healthy People Juice in 2013, they really didn't want to drink beet juice. So I had to figure a way to get people to drink beets because beets is a really good vegetable for us to consume. I had to mix it with watermelon. So I created a watermelon beet lemon ginger juice. That way a person can get the electrolytes from the watermelon, but also get the iron support from the beets and the blood support.
So, and you mentioned these juices. So I looked online. Let's talk about these juice blends and who is behind these fabulous names.
It was a combination of all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was one thing, I admired about Marcus when he had his company that he was naming all of his like beverages and smoothies after legendary people. And
Mhm.
when I was doing my thing, I was naming my stuff after like communities and stuff like that. So I wasn't being as specific. So when we came together, it just made sense. And we were very strategic on who we named the beverage. Like the green drinks are like very strong people. James Baldwin, Fred Hampton, Bucky Lee, a Baltimore legend. So we try to not only honor some ancestors that that are not local, but we want to just make sure that not only are you getting something healthy, but it also sparks a conversation when you bring your family in here and you bring your child in here. Well, who's Bucky Lee? Who's Fred Hampton? Who's the Shot of Sakura? Who's Maya Angelou? Who's like even down our smoothies, Biggie, Tupac, Anita Baker, things of that nature. So everything we did when we built this brand was very, very, very intentional, like very intentional. You know what I mean? And we tried to make sure that all the beverages were centered around health. Like we don't sell products, we sell health. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never a money thing, it's always a health thing. You know what I mean? So we wanted to make sure that we kept our ingredients simple. We try to keep our beverages clean. And we just try to make sure that we provide, like I said, a supreme high quality tasting beverage for the people, because we are competing with high fructose corn syrup and things of that nature. So we're trying to, we're battling something major when we're trying to change people's taste buds.
So, Brother Nance, you also posted a video on Facebook reflecting about the support you guys received, or reflecting on the support you guys received from the grand opening. How was that?
It was just a beautiful thing. It was a ongoing. We opened up the cafe for the first time for our normal business hours from 8 to 6, and it was just I knew I mastered the juicing world, right? And I knew he was a master on the smoothie world, so I wasn't worried about that. But this was my first time really serving food to the people. Now I know I'm a pretty good cook. I done did some catering over the years, had a few different catering business, but this was my first time, our first time actually serving our food products to the marketplace. So it was exciting just to see, not only elders in here eating, but members in the community that live in this community came in and stopped in. So a lot of our friends and families came. People I haven't seen in 10 years or 5 years, people that I haven't seen since the pandemic. It was just a beautiful thing. The mayor pulled up. He's a good friend of mine, so he pulled up. A lot of city officials pulled up. The brother from the Boston Celtics, what's his name? Enes Kanter. He pulled up. He pulled up. So it just felt good to see, what we talked about 6-7 months ago actually coming to fruition, just to see the energy. Cause we consider ourselves a vacay cafe. You don't come to Legendary Lifestyle Cafe, you're gonna be on vacation when you come to Baltimore. We got a hammock sitting out front of our cafe if you want to take a load off. We got Dreamer's Corner if you want to sit down in a little chair and relax and get your thoughts together. Everything, like I said, the grand opening was just I couldn't have scripted it out better. We had a live band, we had a band and a DJ. It was just a beautiful expression of just people, not just black people, but just people in general. It was all nationalities came through here. We know we're in a historically black community, but we also know we have to open up our minds to serve everyone. So
Thank you guys.
We were just really glad that the community came in. They really enjoyed the food. They spoke highly of us. They really spoke highly of our young staff. That really was the most impressive thing of the grand opening. Our young staff just did an amazing job. They did an amazing. Without them, we couldn't do it. Without them, we couldn't do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, because none of the owners, none of this is our full-time work. Mo was a full-time trainer, motivational speaker, and coach, and I work in a community school. So I'm a community school coordinator, and the other business partner, she has a consulting business. So it was very important for us to make sure we employ young people. And two of the young people that we have, I actually used to teach them in the 6th grade. They're in 11th grade now. So it just everything coming 360. So to answer your question, the grand opening was amazing. It was just energy. It was just energy.
That's amazing. I love how you guys are just bringing everyone in the community together and still making an impact, a positive impact for the youth as well, getting them involved in this. That's amazing.
And also partnering up with other businesses. Like all our salad dressings are made by a local vendor, from something good. So all of our salad dressings, is no GMO in there. It's all plant-based. So if you get a ranch dressing from us, it's a vegan ranch dressing. If you get Caesar dressing, it's handmade. You know what I mean? So, we didn't, and we in our uniforms. I don't know if you seen our uniforms, but our uniforms are nursing scrubs. You know what I mean? Because we're serving health. So when you walk in, we want you to feel like you're coming into an inviting space where someone's here to take care of you. Right. You know what I mean? And it's not transactional. You know what I mean? Like we do relational work here at Legendary Lifestyle Cafe. We want to build relationships.
Very sociable here.
Very social.
We want to create that that aura. We want to create that atmosphere for when people come here. That it's almost like they like you said, they're sitting on vacation. Like they got their computers, but they're not at office. They're not at work. They just let their head back, kick their feet up, and they're enjoying the vibe. They're enjoying the energy that's being put out into the atmosphere by us. Because that's what's big. Like we're very sociable people. Like we like to engage. That we like to know how people day was. We like to know how we can help somebody's day get better, or what we can do. So what we offer here is just that. Like, we want to make sure people come here and say, man, and it'll be more about the energy and the vibe.
That's the anything
that they caught. That they tell about, like, what I'm saying? Like, we got great food, we got great drinks, we got great smoothies, we got great everything. But that piece right there, that's gonna keep people coming back. Like, I wish we could turn it
like
around.
right now, it's kids over here playing Connect Four. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kids over there playing Connect Four. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, where do we have sit down, family friendly restaurants or cafes in our communities from people that look like us? So that was very important. You know what I mean? Like, it was very, very important. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't have to separate our kids when we want to go eat. You know what I mean? If we want to go eat, we should be able to bring our kids with us to eat whatever type of food we eat. You know what I mean? So I'm actually glad, that you asked that question, because Mo took the words right out my mouth. I'm about to say, I wish y'all could really see what's happening, because this is something that is our norm around here. This is not abnormal. You can come down here and see somebody laying on the hammock. Some people sitting outside now, makeshift outdoor seating. You can see people on the outside just talking like these two brothers doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a place of community, true community culture and wellness.
Before I let you guys go, I did see some dishes online that intrigued me. So I saw stir fry bowls. I saw waffles that look delicious. I want to know, what are your favorite dishes?
I'll let Mo go first, and then
I love the Maryland lobster roll.
Yeah, you mentioned that a few times.
That's right.
But somebody that don't like plant-based food, he be tearing that lobster roll up. So we got him.
I have yet to try the waffle yet, because I've been working, running, at being behind the register and helping make smoothies. So I didn't get a chance to really check the waffle, but that's what I really want to try next.
See, for me, I have a couple, because I have the black rice stir fry bowls. I like them, but I'm definitely a huge fan of our salads. Like, I love our salads. Like, I can eat any of them. The Broadway salad, the Dome. I mean, they all different ways, but the Broadway summer salad is by far my favorite, because it has all the sort of peppers, the onions, and you get the mango, the strawberry, arugula, spring mix, spinach. I mean, it's just a very fulfilling, it had my taste buds going crazy every time. You know what I mean? And then accompany that by the jalapeno lime dressing that the sister make. It's amazing. So if you ask me, my favorite dishes are any of the salads. I love the salads. I'm a salad guy anyway. I can eat salads all day. And Thorogood tuna melt. That's next. The Thorogood curry tuna melt. That'll be my third. My top three is the stir fry bowl, the salad, and then the Thorogood tuna melt.
Okay, that all sounds so good to me. I'm so excited. I can't wait to try them out, guys.
I look forward to having you.
I'm on my way.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you both for joining us today. For more information on Legendary Lifestyle Cafe, you guys can visit legendarylifestylecafe.com or visit weaa.org. See you guys soon.
Thank you. Peace and power. Appreciate y'all. Legendary.